Hi, welcome to r/redditor. Today we got an interesting story, especially about a pedophile father. Anyways, this story is brought to you by user anom123454420. All right, pedo father gets short sentence. He never left the prison alive. This story has sat with me for a few years now, and I feel like I'm ready to share it. My father sexually abused me and my siblings growing up. I was the youngest of the three siblings and was the one that spoke out, eventually getting him arrested. He only got charged with one count against my sister. And against my sister. Me and my brother has spoken about what happened a few times, and both feel we never got justice for what he did. He got 4 years in federal prison as well as charges for having drugs and some illegal weapons, an assault rifle, pistols that weren't registered in Canada, by the way. For a time in my teenage years, I ended up living in a bad neighborhood, living with my gang member friends and selling drugs to pay for myself to eat. Don't judge me for that. I only sold weed, which can't kill anyone, so I feel fine about it. One day, a higher up in the gang my friends were in came by our apartments because I was selling a lot of weed, and he was beginning to not like it. He gave me a boundary, and I respected him since he respected me. Just just a kid trying to finish high school. The higher up, let's call him Greg, fake name, would come by once a week to check in, but not in a bad way. Greg actually helped me out so much month after meeting him. I didn't need to sell anymore. He help with bills, groceries, etc. When I asked him why, he told me he knew my dad in jail. When I asked him why, he told me he knew my dad in jail. The following story is what I remembered from what he told me. The person confirmed this story when I asked after I turned 18. Greg had been in prison for 3 years when my dad arrived at prison. Greg and my dad turned out to be cellmates. Greg explained to me that my dad never seemed right, and over a year he managed to gain his trust. My dad revealed to him that he wasn't caught for assaulting people in his charge, but didn't actually tell him what he did. Greg, being in a semi-powerful gang, used his connections to find out exactly what my dad did. Greg didn't getting out, so want to ruin getting out. So all he did was tell the more respected prisoners, of which will never see freedom again and do not have morals. My father was raped, beaten, burned, stabbed, and beaten again for months before he died, and all I can say is that I wish it lasted longer. Greg put the pieces together and looked out for me for 2 years when I had no one. Greg got the justice that me and my siblings really deserved. Maybe not nuclear, but when I think about the months of torture he endured, I feel those prisoners got better revenge than I could ever have gotten. I am great now. Greg is kind of like an old crazy uncle now. He got shot in the arm and gave up the gang life. I think I got everything, but if anyone has questions, go ahead and ask. Edit. My dad's sentence was only 4 years because he pleaded guilty. My story's vague because there's a lot of people that could be hurt with the details of the story. And no, I wasn't in the gang. I was just friends with a lot of gang members, and it was a pretty bad neighborhood. Dang, OP. So that's pretty messed up if you think about it. Like your father a pedo. That's really bad. I feel pretty bad for you, man. Um, glad everything has turned out pretty good for you. And yeah. Okay, this next story comes from user multistage. Yeah, multistage. So there's a warning. There's a bit of actual assault and some murder. So if you are sensitive to that stuff, please go watch some other videos, I guess. Alright, I'm not sure this fit as nuclear revenge, as I didn't carry out the revenge itself. I decided not to post this on my main account to keep anonymity. I lived with a friend, quotation marks around there, in an apartment within a semi-small town. It wasn't a small town, but everyone had to know everybody's business. I thought she was a good friend, but I was wrong. One night, my friend, her boyfriend, my boyfriend, and myself all went out to our local club. We had a fun night hanging out. When my boyfriend had and I decided to leave, my friend and her BF wanted to stay out longer. After my boyfriend dropped me home, he wasn't drinking. I went into my room, closed the door, and went to sleep. I promptly woken up by someone actually assaulting me. I said actually, not actually. I'm saying actually because I'm not gonna. Yeah. It was too dark to see who it was. I yelled at the man, "What are you doing?" He tried to hide. I promptly got up and turned on the light and screamed at him to get out, and he ran out. I tried knocking on my neighbor's door. They have been drinking and not coherent. Rang BF and the police. I moved out of the apartment within days as I didn't feel safe. I told my friend what happened, and why I had moved out suddenly. My boyfriend helped me every step of the way. Without him, I would have been a mess. Lol. What I didn't expect was the lack of support from my friend, and she whined about me moving out to people we knew. People in town had heard about my assault, and I was told my friend had let this man into our apartment. Didn't advise me about it and went to her boyfriend's place. Not only did I feel violated and unsafe, I felt betrayed. Before the court case was to occur, the policeman in charge of the case told me that the man killed himself. He had left a note to a girl with the same last name as mine, which I thought was bizarre and weirdly coincidental. During this time, my friend left town. People I knew had been furious about what she had done and run her out of town. The nuclear part. A friend confided in me that the guy who assaulted me was murdered. They made it look like a suicide. He told me the local bikie gang had heard about my assault. They had been angry as allegedly he had previously assaulted a minor girl who had been a sister to one of the gang members. Ooh. He wasn't charged with assaulting the minor girl, sadly. I kept asking this friend to clarify if it was the truth because I couldn't believe it. It was true. He told me continuously this was true. To this day, it still shocks me. Wow. This occurred many years ago, and I've been through therapy for it all. I have forgiven my friend, not for her, but for me. Edit 1. Yes, it is a strange revenge considering I wasn't the one to instigate the revenge itself or run my friend out of town. It was the fact the bikie gang caught wind of my attack and carried out the revenge. Not even sure what subreddit it fits in. Edit 2. Thank you, kind person, for the award. That's so lovely. Edit 3. It did take a lot of courage to post about that time in my life, considering I am quite careful on who I trust. Thank you to all that have commented. I am really grateful to y'all. I am grateful to the friends that I still have in support. So remember the sobbing session I had with one of those friends, and I had told her everything. It took me a long time to open up to her. Edit 4, Edit 5, and Edit 6 are all about awards. So, wow, that must have sucked. I'm pretty sorry for you. On the bright side, though, at least you're happy, which is all that matters. So good job. Pretty proud of you for that. But the fact that you coincidentally had the last name in the sky try to assault you. That I don't know. But
Okay,
yeah,
so this
I'm
is the
glad you're
last
happy.
story for the video. Methanol vodka.
Okay. This is a story about someone my parents knew in the Soviet Union. First, some context. In Russia, people have a main home and a secondary home for the summer called a dacha. Now, when you live in your main home, 99% of the time people broke into the dacha and vandalized or stole things. Okay, the story this guy was tired of being breaking in, and he worked in a government chemical facility. So on the last day of summer, he bought to his dacha some methanol and poured it in some empty vodka bottles. Then he left the bottles on the table. When he came back next summer, he returned to 3 corpses. Oh. Here's the revenge part. Generally, this is first slash second degree murder, but since they broke in and drank it, he is not liable. It's the same thing to breaking into someone's home and stabbing yourself with a kitchen knife. So he walked away free. Wow. Wow. Okay. That's pretty nuts. Oh, I forgot to mention this is user Rom Hypebeast. So yeah, thank you everyone for listening in. There will be more juicy stuff coming soon, so stay tuned for that. All right, goodbye everyone.